Okay, I thought I would give you a mid-June garden update, and I think I was looking back at videos and I don't think I've ever actually shown you the entire backyard so you can get a handle on like the size of my garden and where it is and stuff. But this is my backyard in the city in Southern California. My little shed there has my teaching stuff. I write teaching curriculum. I used to be a teacher, and a lot of houseware stuff that I use for my food blogging and some craft stuff. And then just the back wall, that's my peach tree. We have it trimmed to grow wide along the wall and not so much out into the grass, both to make it easy to know and to give my kids enough room to play, because we do live just in regular suburban tract home in Southern California. Son's basketball hoop, and then the garden is over here. I used to have troughs here with herbs, but I got rid of those just as part of the getting the house ready to move. Don't mind the trash here. I was trimming some stuff. That is an orange tree. Those are just flowers. Back in here are some herbs. I've got basil, mint, thyme, and parsley, just sitting in a barrel. The outside edge of my garden back there, this is grapes. These are the green grapes, and those are the red grapes. And then this L along the cattle panels is tomatoes. Both of these wooden trellises are cucumbers. My one zucchini plant this year, my lemon tree. I had a bunch of bell peppers in here, but last week when my husband and I traveled to Tennessee to check out the house we were trying to purchase, the temperature finally came up. We've actually had a cold spring here in Southern California, but the temperature got up to 105 while we were gone, and those bell peppers just shriveled up and died. I've got one left, but the fruit on it does not look very good. So I'll get in closer here. So the green grapes, I've lost it. I had one flower cluster in here. It just flowered recently. The red grapes flowered a while ago, and I've got several clusters of those all throughout here. And like I said in my last video, I will not be here. These are usually ripe the end of July. We'll be in Tennessee by then. But lots and lots of little clusters of grapes in here. And I do keep this trimmed to stay in this area. And then now I'm on the back side of my tomato L shape here. Most of these are beefsteaks. The exceptions being this one on the edge is a yellow pear. And I do have several baby yellow pears that just aren't ripe yet. Don't know if you can see those. I've got a couple clusters of them around, and it's still growing and flowering. This is one of those plants that gets really large. And then in addition to the exceptions is this one early girl. It's got several fruit on it. And then the rest are beefsteaks except for this Sweet 100 over here. This one's actually a super Sweet 100. Sweet 100 is my favorite, but I couldn't find it this year, so I got a super Sweet 100. It is starting to, the heat is really killing it. Like as they ripen, they're also softening because it's just too hot. But we're supposed to get down into the 80s soon, so I'm hoping that that will help some of these ripen nicely and not, ooh, just broke one off, and not just kind of melt on the vine there. As for the other beefsteaks, they are, let's see, I think I have 6 of them squeezed into the L here. They all have fruit. They're just starting to turn. Some of them are loaded. This year I have more on the bottom than I normally do. I'm not sure why that happened this year, but I've got several with clusters on the bottom. But they're doing well. My first cucumber trellis here, this beam across here keeps it from blowing over in the wind, because even sinking the bottom of this trellis into the ground doesn't keep it from blowing. Our wind is really, really strong here. But I've got several cucumbers. We've been eating cucumbers. Got several babies. I'm looking for some for you. And of course they're like hiding from me at the moment. At least on this plant they're hiding from me. But there are 3 plants on this trellis. My gigantic zucchini, I've actually had to cut some of these taller leaves off because they get so tall they fall over. I have huge zucchini, but I got them all off finally, and so now I've got a couple babies. There's one right down in there. And then I've got some on the other side that are hard to see from over here, but there's a baby right there. Probably tomorrow or the next day I can pick that one. When I left for Tennessee last week, I had no zucchini on here at all. When I came back, I had 3 of them larger than my arm. And then several like normal size ones. It was crazy. My other cucumber trellis over here, because I didn't put any on this side, it was too shady. It's a lot easier to see. I'll have to come pick that one today. And there's a couple babies in here. I was wondering if these ones might have been mislabeled. Another baby over there. Because they're prickly, which usually when I've grown prickly ones, they've always been the pickling ones. But I purposely this year did not get pickling ones, just the snacking. I usually plant them both. But I had wanted to not pickle this year because I didn't want to move the jars across the country, so I just planted a couple snacking cucumbers. But my snacking ones have never been pokey before, always my pickling ones, but these are pokey, and so I'm wondering if maybe they were mislabeled. Anyways, lemons and lemon blossoms. The lemons are actually a little bit past due, but they're, I can't keep up with them this time. Several have dropped on the ground. I need to pick some, make some more lemonade. We're trying to use up frozen lemon juice from last January. So here's the back side of that planter I was showing you with the herbs in it. So that is the garden update for mid-June. I will try to update you once more, maybe at the end of June or early July. Because you know how it is in the summer, things just grow faster, and so you can do updates a little more often, whereas the rest of the year it's like once a month is plenty. Anyways, I'd love to know what you're growing in your garden, and since we are moving to East Tennessee, if you live anywhere in that area, even like just Tennessee in general, or northern Georgia, southern Kentucky, stuff like that, if you know types of things, like what types of tomatoes will grow well there, what types of cucumbers, what types of fruit trees, because I know they're not the same as here. I'm in a zone 9B right now, so I can only grow very heat tolerant tomatoes, because it will get 110 here tons of times during the summer, and the tomatoes go sterile at 95. So, you know, any tips about types to plant, I would love to know that. Pass on your knowledge to me, and I hope you guys have a great day.